I look at every game, really could have gone either way except for Bills-Jags, because now that I think about it, there was never a chance in hell the Jaguars are going to win that game. The one game where it's like, you didn't prepare at all, Chargers-Patriots. Everyone and their sister knows one thing about the Chargers: their offensive line sucks. And you're telling me that you went into this game forgetting that was the case? He was getting killed. Warzone doesn't even tell half the story. He was getting punished like he was a loser punishment in someone's fantasy league. You go play in a Sunday night football game for the Chargers.
Impractical jokers.
Now this week you're gonna go play for the Chargers, and they're not gonna block for you, even if they wanted to, they can't.
What a weekend for me, having to deal with Henry all week. After not only do the Indiana Hoosiers
Curb stomp,
Oregon, not even remotely a game. So now the Jets are going to get maybe Dante Moore if he doesn't stay in college. And then the Niners come out, a whole conspiracy going on about the substation and everything. George Kittle proves that conspiracy even more, and they beat the Eagles.
They beat the Eagles with Kittle going down in Philly. Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. I do want to say I told my friend, who is aspiring doctor at the moment at Harvard Medical School, about the theory, and he was like, you see, this is what's wrong with America, is one kook with 20 million views on Twitter now, it has America convinced it's a power plant thing. Every doctor sees Twitter as a vehicle for hell, because they're like, no, it's not that. But it just sounds so nice on Twitter.
No. These doctors don't know what the hell they're talking about. I would rather listen to first name, last name, bunch of numbers on Twitter than some guy who went to Harvard.
With a degree. A degree, Schmidney. Anybody can get a degree. How about DeVry or Full Sail, you know?
Yeah. How about you put together a thesis about these EMF waves at Levi's?
How about you put together a bio on Twitter that's so enticing that anybody with a pulse would be like, okay, I have to follow you. How about you? I'd like to see you crop your image to make a perfect header on Twitter, Doc.
They wouldn't last a day in our lives.
No, they would not.
Joke. Absolute joke.
Oh, speaking of jokes, Carolina Panthers, LA Rams. What a joke of us to laugh at potentially one of the greatest games in all the playoffs.
That game was incredible. Stafford did Stafford things, but I think we were all proved wrong on, what was it, Saturday. We were all proved wrong on Saturday.
Yes, agreed. Like, everybody in America, they saw this matchup and they're like, okay, well, this is the Rams. Like, everybody's bracket, it's like, this is the easiest highlight in green. Rams. Who are the Rams playing? Where are they advancing? As soon as Puka scored in like 30 seconds, it's like, okay, I'm going to use this time during the game to go to the grocery store and buy booze for the Packers-Bears game tonight. Honey, do you want anything? Do you guys a takeout pizza? He's taking orders. He's like, actually, I have time to go to the gym. 3 hours later, the Rams probably should have lost in what was one of the most exciting games I've ever seen.
That game was incredible, and that was just, it set a statement for the football that we were about to watch for the next 48 hours until we got to that Pats Chargers game. Every game on the slate was absolute cinema. Like Jags, Bills, not Patriots, Chargers, but Packers, Bears. We had that game, the Panthers game, and then we get to the Patriots game. I don't think this is Justin Herbert's fault.
No, I don't think it is either. And you're so right too. Like, this was looking to be one of those wild card weekends where it's like, you remember where you were when you saw these games. You remember where, you remember when you like scooch forward in your chair. I mean, it was an angelic, cinematic display of football. Just magical weekend until Sunday night when it's like, okay, back to reality.
The only reason I knew I saw this coming was one of the linemen on the Chargers is a former Jet who we took in the first round, Mekhi Becton.
Yeah. It was personal for you.
It was personal for me, and it did not go over well. It was like a war field out there for Herbert.
Yeah, man, that was the only game where I just feel like embarrassed for the coaching staff because you look at all these teams that played. Every team in the playoffs deserved to be there. Even the Panthers. The Panthers clearly had flaws, and they went in all week and said, okay, we are going to mask the hell out of our flaws, and we're going to claw you with our strengths. And the Panthers came out pounding. And I look at every game, really could have gone either way except for Bills-Jags, because now that I think about it, there was never a chance in hell the Jaguars were going to win that game unless they were winning by 3 touchdowns. We'll get to that in a second. The one game where it's like, you didn't prepare at all, Chargers-Patriots. Everyone and their sister knows one thing about the Chargers, their offensive line sucks. That's the one piece of information you can say with supreme confidence. And you're telling me that you went into this game forgetting that was the case? He was getting killed. Warzone doesn't even tell half the story. He was getting punished like he was a loser punishment in someone's fantasy league. You go play in a Sunday night football game for the Chargers.
Impractical jokers.
Yeah. All right. Now this week you're gonna go play for the Chargers O-line, and they're not gonna block for you, even if they wanted to, they can't.
It would be Murr. Murr would be the Justin Herbert was Murr from Impractical Jokers.
Killed. There was a few hits I was like, oh God, like throw in the damn towel. And then that 4th down sack was just the insult to injury.
Yeah.
Crushed.
Herbert all game was like that, like Peter Griffin falling down the stairs.
Like this. Did you hear Collinsworth say, like, this cannot be the game plan? This can't be real.
Yeah. It's like they didn't even practice. Like
what did you expect?
And it upsets me. I'm not a Chargers fan. Right. Not even remotely. I'm on the other side of the country.
Yeah.
I like Justin Herbert.
Sure.
I think he is a good quarterback. But he is if man, and because there's no offensive line blocking for him, he looks even worse.
He's never beaten those allegations either, by the way. Like
never.
he's got everyone on his side saying, we want this to work because you just look like the quarterback. You got everything, man. You're tall. You got mass and beer. You can throw the ball a million miles. You're fast. You're strong. You're handsome. You got great hair. You live in Los Angeles. This should work.
What? It should work. But it doesn't.
It doesn't, man.
I think in this offseason, in the draft, they should not draft anybody else other than offensive linemen.
Literally. I mean, can you do that? Can you just go first round, second round, third, just stack your O-line?
Probably. That would
has
be
any
nuts.
team ever done that? I don't think any team has ever done that.
I think the Jets might do it this year with quarterbacks. Statistically, one of them's got to pan out to be okay, right?
I was actually thinking of all the teams and who belongs where. You know where Diego Pavia should be drafted by? You know what fan base he would fit in perfectly with?
Don't. That would be my literal hell.
No, I'm not going to say the Jets.
No, I know where you're going with this. That would be the worst. I would hate every second of this.
He should be a Philadelphia Eagle.
Yes, that's exactly where I knew you were going to go there. He would fit in perfectly.
Perfectly. I was watching this Eagles-Niners game. First of all, let's just take a second here and give the Eagles their 1 or 2 flowers. I think Jalen Hurts is a terrific dude. I think that dude's character, that dude has unbelievable kindness and admiration. He has so much respect for the game, and he talks in Instagram quotes and captions. Yeah. I think that's obviously hilarious, but he's very modest. He's very humble. The Philadelphia Eagles fan base and organization does not deserve the character of Jalen Hurts.
I agree.
He's a good quarterback. He's limited. He's got a limited bag, but he's still, I would rather have Jalen Hurts than Justin Herbert, just me personally. And Jalen Hurts has a ring. I know the Eagles fan base is going to be clinging onto that ring for the next 20 years.
But they're not. That's the thing. Like, I made a video about it this morning. They want Sirianni fired. They want to trade Jalen Hurts. They want to obviously get rid of A.J. Brown. Totally fine with that. That makes a lot of sense. But to say you want to fire the head coach who's been a head coach for 5 years of your program and you've been to 2 Super Bowls and won 1?
Well, I will say this. That might have some merit, because if you look at how the Eagles got to where they're at now, which is a first-class ticket to Cancun, this season probably should have been almost a rerun of last year, if not even better. The Eagles should have gotten the 1 seed, first of all. They should have gotten the 1 seed. There's a couple quality losses in there where you're like, okay, they lost to Denver. I see that. That game was hideous, by the way. They looked awful in that game, but that's fine. Losing to the Cowboys, disgusting. Losing to the Giants, I know that made for some amazing content, and thus began the great Dart and Scattaboo era that is going to be feeding families in New York for the next 3 years, as long as they're playing football. They probably have a shelf life of 3 years, but still, it's going to be it's like college. It's going to be the best 3 or 4 years of your life. But
maybe,
if that. But what I will say about the Eagles, they had a lot of opportunities to clean up this somewhat, escaping season. It was sliding away from them, and they could have made a few adjustments to kind of get things back on track and ultimately get into the Super Bowl. That Week 18 decision to rest the starters, I mean, just at the very least, what are you doing? What are you doing if you have an opportunity to get the 2 seed, which is 2 games at home as opposed to just 1? 2 games, that's worth fighting for. But no, they said, we're fine. We'd rather have the rest. Not only that, but you know exactly who you're playing. You know exactly who is coming your way. It's not like it could be anybody, and we don't want to really affect the time-space continuum. No, you know that if you don't win this game, and you're assuming that the Bears and the Lions go after it, you're probably more than likely hosting the Niners. And I would say that's the one team that absolutely friggin' hates you. And you basically said, oh, we're fine with that. You gave that whole locker room motivation benching the starters against Washington. You don't think every Niners fan used that as absolute jet fuel? So that in itself is inexcusable, because Sirianni basically said, well, I'm owning this decision. This is how we won the Super Bowl last year. That's not how you won the Super Bowl last year. You won the Super Bowl because you executed and you didn't run an offense created by a 15-year-old with crayons. That offense is so friggin' hollow. It's filthy. You kept enabling this with all the positivity bunnies and all the weird little things they had to get things back on track this year, but you avoided the tough conversation with our offense. Our offense is ass.
It should be a problem when you're playing the Buffalo Bills, who are not necessarily known for being stout on defense this year.
No.
And you throw for zero yards in the second half. And that even happened yesterday, too.
Yeah.
Whenever they played. He had like 47 yards in the second half.
Yeah, so Jalen Hurts was actually outthrown in the fourth quarter. Juwan Jennings, the wide receiver one for the Niners, had 29 yards on that one throw, that reverse sweep dot to McCaffrey. Jalen Hurts had 24 yards in the fourth quarter, which includes, by the way, a heroic yet short last drive of the game. There's only 24 yards to his name. That's distasteful. That's disgusting.
Yeah, and I mean, do you put the blame on Patullo?
Oh, absolutely. You can't blame Hurts. This goes back to my point. The Eagles don't deserve Hurts. That final play, I don't know if you got a chance to sort of watch it. I've watched it 10 times. I watched it next to a bottle of lotion. All the receivers were running were just go routes.
Four
it's
verts.
just like, It's like fuck it. Tyreek's open somewhere, but you don't have a Tyreek. Like you got 4th and 10. It's just 4 verts. Like so, all these 49ers, these Costco employees, these
90-year-old
workers that they have on defense, guys from the senior home, guys that they pulled from accounting and marketing in the 49ers building in Santa Clara. These guys on defense that probably should not be playing in a playoff game. You're giving them the easiest job in the world. It's just like, well, I'm just going to stop this go route, I guess.
Oh.
Like, oh, okay. I'll just ride your hip if that's cool. Oh, here comes the ball. Game over.
3 guys near him.
Yeah, it's just so funny. But I will say this. Don't take all the blame, Sirianni, even though you probably deserve it. Let's not beat around the bush. The Niners do this. This is what Shanahan does, okay? Every year the Niners make the playoffs, they're in the NFC Championship game. They either miss the playoffs completely, either like injuries just took over the team, or the visions didn't work out, or the coordinators were just all over the place and they missed the playoffs, the season implodes, regroup for the next year, or they go to the NFC Championship game. That's who Shanahan is. He did it with Jimmy multiple times. He did it with somewhat of a kind of prime Jimmy, but also a fading dynasty Jimmy, if there is such a thing. And he did it with Brock in his first year. He did it with an ascending Brock, and he's doing it again with Brock this year. I have the Niners going back to the NFC Championship because there is one team they want to play more than anybody else, and it's who they have this weekend against Seattle. I cannot wait for Seattle.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah, it is.
That's going to be a really good game.
Yeah, it is. You know that Seattle, too, left all these like half-smoked cigars in their locker room after clinching the NFC West. Dude, it's a different playground now. It's crazy what a couple of weeks, like Seattle's going to be fresh and well-rested, but the Niners are going to be battle-born. I can't wait for this. And Kendricks looked great.
He did look good.
Time machine. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. And listen, you say what you want about this premier defense Seattle has. I bet you things are going to get real spooky for our man Sam Darnold. I bet you the Ghosts, who have done a great job of not showing themselves this year, the Ghosts will come out.
That's all that they. If you want to beat the Eagles, if you want to beat the Seahawks this year, you have to do one thing. It's not take JSN out of the game. It's not dismantle their defense. It's to get inside of Sam Darnold's head somehow. Like, but whether you're bluffing coverage or stemming linebackers, whatever, just somehow make him see ghosts. He will put up a pumpkin, and you guys will win by 13.
Yeah, I see it. I really do. And this isn't just me with my red rosy goggles either. Like I actually see a clear path. Last thing I'll say about Shanahan, the guy's a wizard. And I feel like this conversation happens it's happening less and less now that so many people are seeing with their eyes the rosters that the Niners are running out with. But like, you got to pay Shanahan and Saleh, for that matter, money in cash. Just like, we got it. You guys are them. And no more Steve Wilkes bullshit. No more like running around with these pseudo special teams coordinators. Like, this is the core. Keep winning games so all these head coaching jobs in the NFL close up, forcing Saleh to come back. Because why would he take the Arizona job? All right, there's a few jobs where he's
interviewing with Miami.
I know, and I could see that happening too because it's at a conference, and
I would hate that. I would hate that.
Because he would bottle the Jets up. The Jets. I mean, he would consider the Jets penciled out by Miami every year. But yeah, I'm in a fantastic place mentally. I also saw this coming. I was a little scared just as I saw that line kept going up. Because that's Vegas. That's how they pay the lease on their skyscrapers, right? It's donated by us, but it's like that. As soon as Juwan Jennings threw that dot, and I saw that flag, I was like, "You motherfucker!" I was waiting for that Philly ref to basically say "legal man downfield," but nope. It was because Juwan Jennings got crushed,
Yep.
like literally
For the love of the
depleted.
game. For the love of the game.
Yeah. The Philly ref did not make an impact. So this time I will say, let's go refs. You
That's
guys
right.
did great.
That's
You guys
right.
did great. I was really worried about that Philly ref, but he had one shining moment where I was like, there it is. And it was the pickup of the flag that could have negated one of those Dallas Goedert touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah, that was a weird illegal man downfield call because it like technically was, but also technically it wasn't because he was engaged. With the
It shouldn't have been thrown, but like they never pick up those flags. I can't tell you how many times I've had a fantasy player or someone I'm betting on score and then legal man downfield and it's wiped away. I've never seen them pick up that flag, but as soon as they did, I'm like, oh, there's the Philly homer ref. But that was it. I guess one kind of really soft, late hit on the quarterback that people are talking about, but like that's a bang bang play, and I don't know but it wasn't a ref show, and I'm grateful for that. Okay. I do want to say, Jags Bills. We talked about this. The Jaguars needed to be up 2 or 3 scores with 4 minutes to go. That was their only chance to win because if you give Josh Allen time, he's scoring, obviously. It was written in the stars. You give him, I would say, if you give him 35 seconds, he's going to get in the end zone.
He'll find a way.
But even if you scored with 3 minutes left, there was no amount of time where it's like, oh, no, now you left too much time for Trevor Lawrence. You knew the second that he walked out of that huddle, you knew here comes a government-mandated, league-sponsored bowling ball covered in lotion across the middle. I mean, it's the easiest. Hindsight's 20/20, but no one. They were talking about just get to the 50 so this kicker can kick an 80-yarder. No, they're not going to make the 50. You knew the first play was going to get picked off. You knew
I just don't understand what the scheme was there. Like, you're throwing across the middle. You have no timeouts left. It gets tipped and gets intercepted. Everybody saw this coming.
Yeah,
I had a little more faith in Trevor. I knew something bad was going to happen. I knew the Jags were not going to win that game.
Right.
I figured he would at least have 2 completions before throwing that pick.
No, I didn't. And quite frankly, I was really surprised. Your bracket is cooked. You need Seattle to salvage what's left of your bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I had the Chargers beating the Patriots. Looking back, I'm super embarrassed by that pick because I thought Jim Harbaugh, national champion coach, established NFL coach, would prepare a little bit more. He didn't, so I paid the price for that. But my bracket, the only blemish is besides the Chargers, the only mistake I made was Packers-Bears. And I'll just say this. I don't need to make this about me, but the Bears looked pretty mid to just okay until I opened my mouth a few months back. And then they turned into the greatest fourth quarter team I've ever seen. This is the greatest show on turf in the fourth quarter. It's unbelievable what they are capable of, being down multiple scores as time's winding down. That's incredible. And how can I hate this team? It's all right, here they go. It's so easy to see. It's amazing to watch. They're probably going to do the same thing with the Rams. The Rams are probably going to start Puka, Kyron. They're up 2 scores. And then Stafford throws a duck. He's a little old. And then Caleb does the coolest thing you've ever seen. Throws a Derek Jeter ball to first base, but it's 50 yards.
That was
There's always something too. There's always one thing where you're like, okay, we need Caleb to recreate somebody's logo. So last week it was the Air Jordan logo. The week before it was some baseball slide logo. There's always something you need Caleb Williams to outdo himself. You need a collapse, a turnover, but you need one other voodoo, crazy, Timu spell. Someone needs to cast a spell each week. And last week, poor Brendan McManus, he was the recipient of that spell. That guy Oh, like
That's tough.
really tough.
He's probably still not back in Green Bay right now. He might not have been welcome on the plane.
I don't know if he was, and like I hate seeing kickers fail, but there was a lot. There was a lot on him. You know, LaFleur looked like dog shit. You know, LaFleur. I mean, there was one 3-and-out that took, I think, no less than 30 seconds, and you're like, okay, well, that was rough. Like, might as well just take a knee. But McManus drilled a 55-yarder before half. Ben Johnson calls timeout, right? So you got that practice sweep. Next kick, pulled it left. Okay. Hey, no big deal. It's a 55-yarder. It's windy. You're still up 21-6, right? You're fine. Everything's fine. That missed extra point, that's really inexcusable. That's bad because you know that they love points and every point matters against the Bears. The field goal was awful because that's a 44. Should have been a 39. They got a delay of game because bad coaching, just the random bad fouls, bad penalties, uses of timeouts, move them back 5 measly yards, and you missed it. And it's like as soon as you miss that, it's like, okay, well, it's done. Like the Bears.
So much momentum. Yeah. So much momentum going into that. Caleb, that throw, like you were just talking about, that throw was insane. We got to put more respect on the guy's name.
We really do. And every time I watch them play, I actually think, what an asshole I am to come in here with a blanket trying to drown all this fun that was happening. I didn't foresee any of this, obviously not. But I also didn't think they were capable of being this much fun to watch. Like, you give them an inch, they'll do amazing things. That's a really good team. And we didn't see any of that, though. Like, they were in these rock fights. Back me up. They were in these rock fights with the Giants and the Raiders, losing to the Ravens without Lamar, playing Joe Burrow-less Bengals team the wire. Like, these are not good teams that they are barely beating or losing to. I had every reason to believe this was just another Bears team that was just a little bit more creative offensively. I had no idea that they were capable of this wonder. It's wonderful. They're wonderful.
They are wonderful.
They're wonderful.
Every game you watch of them for the past month and a half has been like the best game you've ever seen. It just keeps getting better every week.
And we talked about this. There's so many little things that are so consequential in every Bears game. Like, oh, you push a PAT, you're going to regret that. Oh, this one flag happened here. Oh, that will change everything. Or a false start will actually save your season. I'm getting killed online right now because people are calling me whiny. I'm not whining about it. I'm pointing out that they are still very much that same Bears team that we know and love. But I'm I'm so in awe of how crazy all this is. If they don't false start, that game is over. It's done. And this isn't coulda, shoulda, woulda. No, this is just appreciating the insanity of all this. Like, an inexcusable penalty on 4th and 3, there's very few teams that get pushed 5 yards further, and it actually changes the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. This is really something we see from Patrick Mahomes.
It gave him more time to think, though. Like if you think about that, it's like a glorified timeout, I suppose.
I guess, yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy how it all worked out. But no, I'll say it. You know, I'm not going back to my roots here, but you know, Bears, Rams, that really can go either way. I would love if the Bears win like they do and, you know, send the Rams home. Give me one more opportunity to redeem myself. Give me one more shot. Bears, Niners, the ticket goes to the Super Bowl. I can be dead wrong or I could be the one on top because that would just be so poetic if I get one shot at this to make this all right.
And I think for ratings wise, that would be, people would love this game. They're going to score like 500 more points during that game. Whereas like, you know, you get any other NFC championship game, it's like, 21-17.
Right, exactly. But Rams, Bears, which then turns into Bears, Niners, pending a Niners win in Seattle. Yeah. Niners, Bears in Chicago. Going there this time. That is cinema. I mean, and it's one more opportunity.
We'll see. We'll see about this. You guys, you're still hurt. Still hurt.
That's all. We covered all the games. What? Just real quick, what do you think is gonna? What do you think is gonna happen this week? What do you foresee? I know your bracket's toast, but with little respect that you still have for the game at this point, because you're probably just so wounded emotionally, physically, just seeing all the success coming to me. You're wondering to God why he won't do the same for you. What do you foresee this weekend?
Well, tonight, for instance, I think the Texans come back. The Texans defense is back. They put Rodgers in a blender. Texans win. You have the Steelers in that one, correct?
I do. I have the Steelers. We went oppo for every pick except the Rams. So the one thing we both got right was the Rams. Barely. I have the Steelers. I just think a star shines the brightest right before it goes away, right? And I think we're going to get some amazing fireworks from Aaron Rodgers. He will not, you think blender, I think this will be a 5-course dinner. We're going to get just some nice little dinks and dunks, to kind of extinguish the Texans' pass rush. They stop the blitz because it's not working. We get some Aaron Rodgers throws on the run. We get some vintage deep ball stuff. DK is back. We get that classic goal line fade that he's addicted to because he just still sees Devontae. I think we get a 5-course Aaron Rodgers dinner.
Oh, well.
I don't know yet if it's enough to beat the Texans because Stroud is – I keep forgetting, Stroud's great. I really like Stroud. I'm not necessarily a Stroud boy just yet. I need to see more out of him, but I'm pretty convinced, the AFC South, is it? It doesn't run through Jacksonville. There was a few games the Texans lost. They probably should have won. I think it runs through Houston. I think Jacksonville had one shot. It was this year, and I think it's a bummer. I do.
That's what I was thinking too. And the winner of the Bills-Jags game is either they're definitely going to the AFC Championship was my take, and then Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think Houston wins tonight. I don't. We've been opposite on most picks, but it's good that you think Houston wins as well.
Oh, I didn't say Houston wins. I think it would be a great game. Steelers win. Rodgers game-winning touchdown.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, we are on opposite sides of that.
We are.
Then.
We are on opposite sides.
Right.
Although we can ally on Indiana because you can root for me as well. I might be going to the national championship. Saying this right now, you might see me in Miami. We still much to disclose on that. That could be really exciting. I don't think it'll be particularly close. Indiana is a 7-point favorite against Miami. I think Miami's little insanity run is up, and I think Indiana is, at this point, they're not just trying to win the Natty, but not that they're playing for this, but what's up for debate is where you have this team ranked against that LSU team with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's all people are going to be talking about. I'm not even considering this game to be close. I hate to say it. This game will be over when it starts, kind of like the Oregon game, and it's just a matter of where is this team. That's all they're going to be talking about is where is this team fold in the history of college football. Crazy.
Statistically, bigger point differential, less points per game, a lot on defense.
Yeah.
But I think Burrow threw for 1,500 more yards than Mendoza.
Probably playing in a tougher conference too. This was still when the SEC was worth something. Now
it did mean more.
It did mean more. Did mean more. Those SEC games, they were something, but it certainly does not mean more anymore. I can't begin to say how happy I am to see this conference not go away. It's still here, but everyone knows it does not mean more, and I think that's terrific.
I would have been fine with Ole Miss going to the Natty, just because Ole Miss, they're not
Blake,
the traditional
our
SEC
CEO,
team.
Blake, of course, too. And that's good for
Yeah.
him.
but they're not like the traditional SEC blue blood, you know.
Right, yeah. The
So I'd have been
scrappy
fine with
underdogs, you know,
Yeah.
with the Lane Kiffin situation. That would have been interesting as well.
But that's just not the way it is, and I think Miami might lose by 3 touchdowns in the national championship.
Yeah, good point. But no matter what happens, you can always earn rewards just for using the WonderFan app. It is the one app that is not a gambling app. I have to make that clear. Not a gambling app. It is a rewards app that gives you rewards just for watching games, just for doing stuff you were already doing and probably paying for, let's face it. So download WonderFan and see what it means to get paid using rewards for being a fan. Trying to give away $1 million in rewards this year. That is the WonderFan goal. All you have to do is be the recipient of it. Download WonderFan, get in on the action. We're giving away tickets, rewards every single week. This has been the WonderFan Show. I'm Henry. That's Evan. He's sad. I'm happy. And this is goodbye.